Well, hello. Yes, Swamp Thing has awakened from her pit. I've just had a quick nap. I am shagged out, quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. So what I'm going to do is just have a quick look through the chat. Hello, White Tiger. Hiya, Evie. Hiya, Mandy, darling. Hello, Belly Dancer. And welcome as a new member. That's wonderful. Lovely to see you. Okay. And Mr. Shannonite. Oi, oi. Let me see. Have I missed anybody? Ruby Lisa, hi. There we go. Don't think I've missed anybody. Just so I'm, hi Hassan. Nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a good long while. Right. So I'm a bit sniffly. So no camera today. So you just get this gorgeous Snapchatty, wonky-eyed picture of me. But what we're going to do today is we're just going to have a look at the interrogation video where Chris Watts basically spins a few lies on top of some truths, and we're just going to roast the guy absolutely. So what I'm going to do as well is I am going to, because I know that when the chat isn't open, it's difficult to get in touch with people, etc. I'm going to bang in now the link to the Discord that I have just a little few of us, and we'll just have a chat. Okay, so I've popped that link in there so you can come and join us, and you can just talk to each other and have a laugh, share some gifts, have a bit of funniness. So that's basically all there is to say about that. Right, so let me just turn my mic around a bit so we can play the sound and you can all hear what Watsy Poos is saying. We're all familiar with Chris Twats, as I like to call him, and I thought we'd have a nice easy going Sunday. The pandemic's getting up everybody's nose, so what I thought we would do is watch a bit of Watts and have a bit of a comment on it. And I'll be looking out for you guys in the chat, so please do share your thoughts on his behaviour here as well. He's with Tammy and Graham and in this video. So just share the screen. Okay. There we are. So as you can see, he's with Tammy and Graham in this video. And we'll just have a look. This particular copy, the Discovery is available for free. You pay an admin fee to get it, but this particular copy is Denver 7, so credit to them for uploading that for us to use.
There's no reason you feel sick to your stomach. And when people hold stuff inside, it makes you physically ill. And I can just tell on your face, I can tell from the second you walked in that you were wanting to just come clean and just be done with this. And I appreciate that because you knew sitting down in that chair that you weren't going to pass today.
This thing with this, we can't quite see the expression on his face, but when she says you're sick to your stomach and you just want to get it off your chest, this gesture here with the arms crossed and the head turned kind of looks like, are you kidding me? Kind of thing. But, you know, hiya April Sunset, hiya Gigi.
And you knew I was going to find out because I told you that. And then you continued to stay knowing that you could, at the end, say, you know what? I just need to get this off my chest. Like, I just need to tell you what happened. We're not here to play games. We're not here to do any of that with you. We just want to know what happened.
So she's saying he could have gone when he stayed when he could have gone. So obviously he wants to confess. And where that might be true, I think he just stayed because he's a bloody idiot. So that's pretty much it.
So can you start from the beginning and tell us what happened?
Everything that I told you, I did not lie on this polygraph. I am how much I could tell you right now, like, I did not.
Yeah, it's not even an option right now because you did not pass the polygraph, so I know you were being deceptive, so that's not even an issue right now. The issue right now is what happened to Shanann.
So he's trying to say, I did not lie. Hiya, Ilfa. I did not lie on this polygraph. That's what he's saying. I did not lie on this. I don't know how many times I can tell you I did not lie on this polygraph. And just like, don't worry about it, dude. I know that you failed. That's not the point. Just tell us where they are. Tell us what happened.
Bella and Celeste. That's the issue right now.
Okay.
Okay. So let's talk about that.
I've,
I know you want to tell us. I can see it in your face. Holding this lie in is going to do nothing for you.
I know this.
So interestingly there, when she says, I know you want to tell us, I can see it in your face. If I can go back, what he does is he nods his head in agreement with her, and then he shakes his head.
So can you start from the beginning and tell us what happened?
Everything that I've told you, I did not lie on this polygraph. I don't know how much I could tell you right now, like, I did not.
Yeah, it's not even an option right now because you did not pass the polygraph, so I know you were being deceptive, so that's not even an issue right now. The issue right now is what happened to Shanann, Bella, and Celeste. That's the issue right now. Okay, so let's talk about that. I know you want to tell us. I can see it in your face.
Say that there, he nods, and then he shakes his head.
Holding this lie in is going to do nothing for you.
I know this. Like, okay. I'm not, like, trying to, like, cover things up, like...
Yeah, but you kind of are, because it's normal. Normal people would do that.
It's the most ridiculous lie ever. I'm not trying to cover things up. Given what he's actually done at this point, that he knows that he's done, that's just a really pretty lie, isn't it? You know, I'm not trying to cover things up. I'm really transparent. I never lie. Yeah.
Normal people that make a mistake initially are going to go, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything. That's normal. I would expect that. It's just like if you ask your kid, did you write on the wall? And they go, no. And you're like, you have a marker on your hand. Like, I know you just wrote on the wall. They're like, oh, okay. That's a natural reaction that someone's going to initially lie about something like that and then eventually tell the truth. So
well, it is in dishonest people and small children, but not necessarily in everybody. But what she's trying to do, I think, is make him feel like he's just like everybody else and what he's doing is normal. And this is a tactic that Tammy deploys a lot with Chris Watts, because he has a sense about him where he wants to be babied, I feel, and she picked up on that, and that's really good work.
This is your eventually telling the truth time. This is where the rubber meets the road, Chris.
Hi, Melanie.
Like, don't let this continue any longer, please.
I'm not trying to make anything continue.
Hi, Sonia. So I'm not trying to make anything continue, but he's obviously still sat there not telling the truth. Evie Scorpion, I always wish they'd sat it. Yeah, I wish he'd been facing the camera as well. I would have really liked to have seen his facial expressions. Mind you, his face doesn't do a whole lot, but he does do a lot of dupe and delight, inappropriate smiling, because I don't think he can feel a damn thing. Not really.
Like, I want them back home, like...
But they're not coming back home. You know that.
I don't know in the back of my head. I hope they come back home.
But they're not.
I hope they come back home.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know they're not coming back home.
See, we're still repeat. I don't know they're not coming back home. If you look at the way Chris is sitting, he might have one arm across him, but at this point he's holding his hand out flat. And his palm is open, which leads me to think at some point in his history, he has read up on body language and is aware that open palms are a gesture of honesty. So he's trying to express honesty here, consciously trying to make it look like he's not lying. And the problem is, though, if you look at the tightness of his shoulders and where his other arm is and his speech and all the other factors, when people do like body language analysis, there's many different factors that come into it, not just one or two.
Chris, Tammy and I are confused. Yeah. And here's what we're confused about. we've done some work overnight.
Yes.
So that we've got a lot of leads, okay, that wasn't a lie.
I know.
We know a lot more than you think we do, okay?
We know a lot more than you think we do. So this is Graham trying to, or Graham, as we call the people who call Graham over here, who is trying to tell him, look, the jig is up. We know stuff, so you can tell us now or not.
And here's where we're confused. You're this great guy, and I'm not just telling you that, okay? I'm telling you that because everyone tells us that.
And that's actually true. When the officers spoke to, obviously Cindy, Ronnie, anybody from Chris's workplace that spoke to them, his childhood friend, when they spoke to all of these people, they all said Chris was a great guy. Nobody really had anything bad to say about him at all. So that just goes to show you that somebody who can do something like this can go completely undetected. Saying that, the people who maybe he creeped out a bit, the people who found him disingenuous, the people who just didn't like to be around him weren't going to be in his life anyway. But it does seem odd that everybody tells the same story. Oh, Chris Watts, he's a great guy.
Okay? We can't find anyone saying anything bad about you. Chris is a great guy. He's a good father. He's a good man. We're confused as to why you're not taking care of your beautiful children.
I'm not taking care of them right now.
Right now. Where are they?
I don't know where they're at.
Yeah, I don't know where they're at. Like the pretend frustration there. He knows exactly where they are and he knows exactly what he did. But he's propagating a lie even though Graham's telling him, look, we know a lot more. That's not coaxing him out of his hole because he's going to continue to lie. The people who didn't like him saying I don't know. I think that was from the porch interview. That wasn't it. It was the I have no inclination kind of speech that he was doing.
Honestly, I do not know where they are at. If I could have my babies back home right now, I would. I want them back. I want everybody back.
Hey, nah, my boyfriend's back. So, yeah, if I knew where they were, I want them back. And again, this is the same line that he repeats on the porch. I want them back. He's trying to pretend here that they're still alive. We know, of course, that they're not. Tommy and Graham know that they're not. He knows that they're not. The jig is up. And basically, we can actually even see this here in Tommy's body language. We know what's happened. We know roughly what's happened anyway. And it must be frustrating to sit and hear somebody deny a complete lie like that.
That is the God's honest truth.
That's a good point Helen's just made. Just covering them out to hide a contempt. They know already. Yes, and there were some claims made that, Tommy was too nice to him. They were too nice to him. They're interrogators. They're there to get information. They're not there to go, you get a lot more with honey than with vinegar, if you've ever heard this phrase. And there is absolute documented evidence to prove that torture methods, etc., don't work. It's much easier to get information out of people when you're kinder to them. I just love this, the silence. What they're doing here is they're just sitting in silence and they're waiting for him to speak because people don't like uneasy silences. So what they do is they just sit and wait. Let's see if this pays off and what he says. Liz, I don't know why you can't see Mr. Shadowlight's comments. He's in here. And hello, darling, by the way. I'm interrupting this, but this is actually quite tense. This just sitting here waiting for him to speak. You noticed how he's just not even moving. He's just stuck still. The only way you would know this wasn't on pause is because of the ticking of the clock and because Graham's just moved his head slightly. Other than that, this looks like some sort of tableau painting.
So let's keep talking about your family. Okay. We just can't figure out why there's two Chris's. Okay. We talked about that last night.
Yes.
We just can't.
Right. So what happened is they gave him silence, hoping that he would talk. Of course he didn't, because the man is made of stone. So now they're going to talk about the two Chris's theory. There's the good Chris and the bad Chris. So I'm just going to let you hear what Graham has to say there.
Can't figure it out. There's a Chris. Okay. If somebody asked me my fourth child routine, I would say, I don't know, go ask their mom. That's the truth, right? And so it is very surprising to me, and it warms my heart that you're the type of dad who can pack a bag in the morning, and you know just what to put in there. You know just what to put in there as a backup in case they have an accident. Okay, you know what clothes to put in there. You know what they have for breakfast. You know what they have for a snack and a dinner and a nighttime snack. You can tell me the book you read to your daughters. Okay, I know you love them, and you're not faking that, are you? That's real. Okay. There's a lot of guys who come in here and try to tell me that, and I know they're lying. Okay, because they can't answer those questions that you can answer.
So here we're trying to big him up. How, there's a lot of guys who don't look after their children. Yeah, this is a fact. But the way that it's being phrased in such a way is that Chris is some sort of morally superior for being doing what is effectively the bare necessities for his children.
Okay. But you weren't here today lying about something else. So we need to talk about that, okay? I cheated on her. I know. And this is very good.
I'm not proud of it. Like, I didn't think anything like that could happen. I don't think I'd ever do it, but I did.
I know. Keep going.
And she accused me of it. I denied it. Like, I cheated on her, and I feel horrible for it. Like, she was pregnant, and it was, I don't want.
Right, so he's talking about a conversation between him and Shanann. She asked me about it. I denied it.
I didn't hurt her.
I didn't hurt her.
I cheated on her. I hurt her emotionally. I cheated on her. And I feel absolutely horrible about this, but that's what I've been holding. I didn't go to the Rocky game. I was with her.
Okay.
I went to dinner with her.
Okay. Keep going.
That 5 weeks I was alone, I was with her most of the time.
Okay. You're doing a good job. This is the Chris that I knew would come out today.
So this is, he's been rewarded. This is the good Chris. Chris is the truth teller. That he gets rewarded. So what he's doing is basically going, instead of going to somewhere he should have been, he's been out for dinner with Nicole.
This is the Chris who tells the truth because you're a truth teller.
When I tell you I fell in love, it's because I fell in love with her.
Absolutely.
Okay? I mean, that's God's honest truth.
Okay. Who is her?
So I don't want to get her involved in this. I don't want to ruin her life. Like, it's something like this. I don't want.
Oh, that didn't age well, did it, Chris? He's talking about Nicole Kessinger here. I don't want to get involved in this. I don't want to ruin her life. Well, you know what, mate? You did.
Her involved in this.
Okay. So
Lots of lives in your wake, you selfish shitbag.
can we talk about that a little bit?
Yes.
I knew
I'm sorry, but when it comes to insulting people, I've got no qualms with this fella at all because he's an absolute dirtbag.
that you would say you didn't want to get her involved.
But that's just because
Because you'd like to take care of people.
she's a wonderful person. Like, She knew I was married, yes. And I told her we were going through issues, yes. And I told her that, you know, we were going to get, you know, at the end, like, you're going to get separated. Like, once I figured out what that was, I didn't know what that was going to be.
I know.
I had no idea. I like, you know.
Hi, Melinda. Hi, Lori Beth.
I saw her, took my breath away, and I'd never thought in a million years that could happen.
I know.
I know you're thinking what they're going to like, but like, it was, I never felt that way about anybody in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Chris, that's not your fault.
No,
That's what I have.
no, I'm just,
Can we do this? I know you want to take care of her it's because you're the type of guy that
There he is again with the open hands.
takes care of women. It is.
You're a man who takes care of women. Oh, that could be taken the wrong way at this stage. It's not. Yeah.
You took care of your wife, you took care of your daughters, you were very
You certainly did. Horrible man.
good at taking care, and you want to take care of her. So can we make a deal?
I actually really enjoy our cardigan with the prison stripes on. I've got a top that's very similar to that.
I don't think this girl did anything to hurt anybody, but I can't walk out of here wondering. So can we leave her out of it?
Okay.
Get back to your wife and your daughters.
okay.
Where are they?
That I do not know. That was what I was holding.
So this is what he's done. He's used confessing to having an affair behind his wife's back to distract from the worst lie that he's telling. And he does this quite a lot. And if you've kept your eye open and you follow the case, you'll see him do this quite a few times. What he does is, this is a worse lie than the other lie. This is a worse truth than the other truth. So I'll tell this truth to seem like that's covering the other truth as well. But that's not how life works. You don't just pick one or the other. Kind of truth is truth.
Back, like, I didn't know, like, what I did. I know.
Chris, in the interview today, you weren't asked about infidelity. You were asked about.
I was
Hey, Lieben Lizette, sorry, sweetheart, I didn't say you were in here.
holding back from last night.
That's
When you
what
talked
you feel today.
That's not how that works. You would have reactions to every single question, not just the ones that we talked about being important.
Like the ones you wanted me to lie about, like, is that what you're talking about?
No, the ones about her disappearance and knowing where she's at and about seeing her last.
I was not lying about those things. So,
Can I tell you what I think?
yes.
Okay. So, going into that interview today with Tammy, where we strapped you in, we knew all about Nikki. Okay?
There you go. So he's telling him, so what you just told us we already knew about. So in a way, it's good that he's told them that because they were already advised about it. So, and I think Chris must have suspected that's what they knew. I don't think he had much concept that they were both pretty sold on the idea that he killed his wife and children because, well, he's Chris Watts. He's a nice guy. He's built this facade up with everybody. So I used to think that he was possibly a psychopath, but now I do think that he's a covert narcissist. Covert narcissists are very difficult to detect because they think they deserve better in life and they take little secret petty revenges. I believe that I've actually come across one now, and I never had done before in my life. So they kid everybody that they're lovely and polite and kind and sweet and vulnerable. And there's actually no such thing. They're actually pretty nasty.
And you're doing a very good job right now because you didn't have to tell us about it, but you did.
I couldn't hold that in anymore.
I know. We could see it in your chest. I can't in your eyes. Okay. Here's the challenge that we have. We knew about Nikki, and so we didn't need to ask you about her in the polygraph. We just didn't need to because we knew. Okay. And so that's why we didn't ask you because we already knew the answer. Okay. We're very, very worried about your daughters and your wife. I am too. Okay.
Wow. I am too. We're very worried about your daughters and your wife. I am too. No, you're not, you absolute git. It's just, you can see here where he's pretending to be the nice guy that he's always pretended to be, but this isn't going to work this time because he's in deep doo-doo, and he just keeps using this protection of, oh, I'm just a nice guy, sweetheart, Chris Watts.
So can I tell you, maybe based on the people that I talked to and Tammy's talked to, based on all the investigations we've done, based on your cell phone, both your cell phones, your wife's cell phone, Nikki's cell phone, okay, based on talking with family members and friends, and based on talking with everyone, here's what we know, okay? And I'm not gonna lie to you right now, here's what we know.
Right, so this is Graham telling them what they know. Whether it is what they know or not, let's find out.
Okay, Chris is a good man. Everyone said it. Okay, I'm not just telling you that because I, want to blow smoke here. You're a good man. Okay. Nobody can fake answers about packing a backpack. Nobody. You either pack a backpack for your kids or you don't. Okay.
Of course, this is a patent lie. The motivation, I think, is again to praise him, to pick him up, to tell him what a good father he is, to remind him what a good father he is, so that he will do the right thing for his children and tell them where on earth the children are. Somebody can lie about packing a backpack. It's quite easy to do. You could say, I packed my backpack this morning and I didn't. So there, I just did it.
This should have been the happiest time of your marriage. Okay? You and Shanann. This should have been the happiest time. She's making a little money. She's making good money. You're making great money. You both have a job. You have beautiful kids. You have a beautiful house. You're in Colorado. Clean air, good people. Okay? And on top of that, you look pretty good now.
Just give a shout out to Colorado, clean air, good people. Yes, Colorado gets a bad press. Some bad things happen there, but the people are just fine. Best not to call it Colorado, even though I jokingly do with Leisha.
You're pretty fit, okay? This should have been a time in your marriage where you guys were happy and thriving and productive, okay? And I believe that Shanann's the reason none of that happened. I believe that she's a controlling person. Maybe doesn't listen to you as much as she should. I think that she can do whatever she wants and you can't.
There you go. So this is the story that they've been given by obviously Ronnie and Cindy and his friends, that she's a controlling person, that she can do what she wants and he can't. I can't find, even though, yes, she was forthright, she was direct, I can't find any real evidence that he was actually not allowed to do things. Like, and if he wasn't, he could have spoken up, as far as I know. Sadly, Shanann isn't here to ask anymore because this piece of shit killed her. So we'll just have to put that on the back burner. You could theorize about that forever and use it as an excuse to drag the victim. And people do, and they can get on with it in that one orbit. But for me, it's nice that they're trying to show Chris some understanding. I think Graham is trying to, again, play the advantage by being nice to him and sympathizing with him. Hi, Sakura girl.
I think if you were to go to a restaurant, she would order whatever the hell she wants. And as soon as you order a nice steak, she says, "Whoa, buddy." Okay? A woman that lets...
I remember this steak conversation. You order a nice steak and she says, "Whoa, buddy." I have to admit, I would put my foot down there, mind. If you order a steak and people tell you no, you might want to question that relationship if you like the steak. I'm just saying.
Her man do all...
Unless, of course, you have some sort of deathly allergy to it, or they're vegan and then there's a row. There are exceptions to the rule. But in the main, if you order a steak, you get a steak.
Backpack packing and all the cooking.
I'll do all the cooking, but she cooks I do some things here and there.
Okay. That's because you're a good person, and I think that she started on the path to leave the marriage. Okay. It's ironic that we're talking about you and Nikki. I think that she was the one who started on that path first.
So that's him saying he thinks that Shanann was planning on leaving Chris. This has absolutely no evidence. So what is Graham trying to do here? Is Graham trying to make Chris feel like he was kind of justified in having his affair to get him to open up.
Think about that.
I wouldn't have thought about that.
Yeah. And the other thing I think is interesting is, even though she is that type of person that's controlling, doesn't listen, does what she wants, is walking away from her kids, here you are defending her. Because to your core, you want to take care of the people you love.
There you go. So that's where he was going with that. So, you know, even though she was thinking about walking away from her kids, you were taking care of them. So he's now implying that Shanana was going to leave him and the children. Of course, this would never have happened, would it? But he's trying to make Shanana into the bad guy so that he feels better about anything he might have done about her, so he's more likely to confess.
Okay. And that's the reason why we want to give you an opportunity today.
Well, exactly. NK said that she was controlling. This is because Watts was whinging about her. And when you're around a narcissist, what happens is, and like I said, I do think he's a covert narcissist, they lay the groundwork for when they want to discard somebody. So they will tell other people bad things about you all the time, in order to pave the way for when they discard you later. So people aren't really that keen on you anyway when the time comes, and they can ally those other people to their side to become flying monkeys.
To just help us find them. Okay. Will you do that for us?
I'll do whatever I can to help to find where they're at.
Okay. So when she asks you, do you know where they are? Or are you going to tell the truth about where they are? You feel miserable.
Okay.
Why?
I'm a nervous person. Like every question I asked, every question, it felt like I wouldn't say the right thing.
That's not how the polygraph works.
I don't know like what it reads like through my notes.
Like that. Every question, I was so nervous I would have failed at everything, and Graham just absolutely straight-faced goes, that's not how a polygraph works. I love that.
Saying about the autonomy of the process, but like
Absolutely spot on, Liz. Absolutely spot on. That's because he's telling everybody this. His mother, his father, you know, that anybody who Shanann wasn't in regular contact with would have been told this, especially the mistress. We've all heard that my ex is crazy, my other half is crazy story, my ex other half. And when people say that, be wary. When people have previously been close to somebody and they tell you that they're crazy, just be wary of that.
I don't know where they're at. Chris, right now your dad's outside. He flew across the country to help you. Okay. You're lying to him.
By the way, while we're doing this, we may have to do this one in two parts. I'm happy to come back to it next Sunday because obviously I know people have lives. So, but what I'd like to say while I'm here is, if you would kindly give a click on Libby Lisa and look her up, if one of the mods could put Libby Lisa's channel and White Tiger Unplugged's channel, I know White Tiger can put her own channel in. Can you just stick everybody's channels into the chat while we're doing the analysis of this? If that would be lovely. If you can't do it, I will put them in the description later anyway, so that's not a problem. Hi Mary. Yes, absolutely. Chris is indeed the yes.
You lied to everyone you talked to, and they all bought it.
You lied to everyone they talked to, and they all bought it. Ta-da!
Will you please help us find your babies?
I want to find them. I've told you over and over, I want to find them.
I want to find them. I've told it over and over again. Just because you say something over and over again, Muppet Boy, does not mean that people make it true. Now, when people lie, it's often to accuse somebody else of lying, and they'll say, it's lies, lies, lies. And what they do is they repeat the word until it makes it believable. But these are interrogators. These people are not falling for this bullshit.
Find everyone.
go back to that night?
Yeah.
You know that we have texts, and we know that there's an Alexa in your house,
Mhm.
and you know that those are trained to record distress.
Evie, since you're here, do you want to pop your channel link in if you can? If not, I will pop it in the description.
Okay.
You know that we know the content of Nikki's text messages and your text messages and Shanann's text messages. Okay?
I didn't know you were, like you was until right now, so.
Tell us about that night again, and please tell the truth. Stop.
I told you the truth. I promise I told you the truth. Like, woke up at 4 o'clock. I woke up at 4 o'clock. Got dressed, got ready. 4:15, me and Shannon talked about the house, about separation.
All right, so talked in the house, 4:15, about the house, about the separation. So he's starting now to pretend to tell them what happened. So let's see what he actually does and how he does it.
Did you guys talk about Nikki?
She accused me of like, all right, you know, is there somebody else?
Sure.
Now, if she did accuse him of being with somebody else, it's probably because you deliberately didn't hide it. This concerns me because for the first time in his affair with Nicole Kessinger, I think it was the night or two before when he went out for dinner with her, he used the credit card that Shanann has access to the records for. So she would have known, and he knew she would have known, that he'd spent money for dinner for two. So I feel that he was laying down the groundwork for this beforehand, and that he already knew he was intending to kill her, and he wanted to be able to tell this story, and maybe it's just occurred to him in all the limelight.
Okay.
You denied it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she brought up, like, you know, like, well, was there a $68 charge at dinner the other night?
Okay.
Was there two of you?
And then what's with two of you wasn't this? Okay.
That's me.
Okay. So it sounds like at that time there was maybe you weren't quite ready to just say, man, this had everything.
I couldn't say it.
Okay.
We weren't trying hard enough. I couldn't say that.
Okay. What did you say?
I just told her, like, the separation has to be, I want separation.
Okay. Was it her idea to sell the house or yours?
I want a separation. You can't just stand up and say, look, I'm having an affair, I'm with somebody else. Yes, we know she's not going to respond well to that. Nobody's going to respond well to that. But there are other ways to deal with it. If you've got a volatile relationship and things are going to blow up, there are other things to do. But of course, Mr. Common Sense here is so busy thinking about ways to murder his missus that he's not really considered much else, I don't think.
She initiated the realtor the week before an email.
Why?
Because we were talking about the marital issue. She's like, well, you can't afford to live on her own. Well, she can't afford to live on her own, and I can't afford to live on my own. So she's like, we need to contact Van.
You can see. And who'd you contact?
Well, she contacted Van, our realtor.
Ann?
Yeah.
Okay. Would Ann say the same thing that your wife initiated the contact? Okay.
She would. And then on Monday, I texted her to see if what she could do.
Okay.
And that's in there too. We already did that.
Tell me about the pregnancy. Was that your idea or hers?
She said she was about 80-20. Well, when we did the pros and cons of it, like after she got pregnant, she told everybody that it was mainly my idea.
Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, it was.
So there you go. After she got pregnant, she told everybody it was mainly my idea. Is that true? Yeah. I mean, so yes, is what you're saying. Yes. We're about 80-20. Who does that? Who, like, I don't know. To me, maybe it's just because I don't relate to that kind of mathematical thinking, but I don't work percentages on things like that. The decision to have a child is something that either happens by accident and then it's the best mistake you ever made, or it's like something that you put your heart and soul into. You don't do percentages generally on those decisions.
I wanted a boy.
Did you want to get pregnant? Okay.
And then after the fact, she said it was mainly me that wanted it, and she was about, she was 70-30 against it at that point. Like, she would tell her friends that.
Yeah.
70-30 again. There he is again.
And I was just like, what, 70-30 against it?
Why can't you just say she wasn't sure? Why do you have to speak like that? This is why people call him Rain Man, which is a terrible insult to people who are like Rain Man.
They're like, why?
It's just...
Okay. Can you understand
Thank you to all of my wonderful mods for sharing channel links. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you.
that some of this just doesn't make sense to us? Okay. How is it possible that a woman and 2 kids are just completely gone off the face of the earth?
How is it possible that a woman and her 2 kids are just gone off the face of the earth? Right, that's a very good question, Graham. Let's see how Chris responds. Let's see how Muppet Boy Genius Pants responds to this question.
I have nothing on my hands that I did nothing to those kids or her to make them vanish.
I did nothing to those kids or her to make them vanish. Now, when he says that, it's kind of like he's a magician, isn't it? Like he put his top hat on and put them under a coat and then pulled it away and whoosh, they vanished. Well, he can't even bring himself to say the word.
So tell me what happened then. I believe you that you did nothing on your hands. What happened?
When I left, it's on video that I left and I was in my truck. I didn't load anything into my truck besides my tools, my container, my book bag, my water jug, my lunchbox. Okay.
My bucket of pants, my earphones, my Wellingtons I wore when I was 6, my copy of The Joy of Sex from 1974. He's just talking shite in a list.
But then what happened?
He'd rehearsed what he was putting into the truck. And he repeats this more than once in this process. You'll have seen it on the earlier body cam as well. So it was a case of him doing that, and he kind of just falls back onto that in this moment.
I drove out of the driveway.
No, before you drove out of the driveway. What happened with your wife and your kids?
I didn't do anything like that. They were still in the house.
Where are they? Where did they go?
I don't know, sir. I really don't know.
Your wife's not the type of person to vanish.
I know she's not.
She had 10 things on her schedule that meant she was going to be there the next day, that day, the day after that, with friends, with a doctor. Okay? She didn't leave because she wanted to.
Okay.
So what happened?
I didn't do anything to her or the kids.
Was it an accident?
I didn't do anything.
Was it an accident?
There was no accident. I don't know if there was an accident in the house. I wasn't there for it.
It's a big deal if it's an accident, because we can work with that, Chris.
No.
And I think that's maybe what happened.
So there you go. Where'd you go? Is it an accident, Chris? Because we can work with that.
I did not cause an accident. I didn't do anything to my wife and kids.
And again, that's about the 75th time he's told this lie. I absolutely agree, Belly Dancer. That's why I tagged your comment there. He's a horrible, horrible piece of work.
Was it a misunderstanding?
There's no misunderstanding. We had a talk. There was a misunderstanding where I didn't tell her about the affair.
Okay.
I didn't. That was the misunderstanding.
Miscommunication,
Yeah,
misunderstanding.
yeah.
Good.
But I probably should have told her right then, honestly. Everything was out on the table anyways.
Right.
I should have told her right then.
Hey, Ali writes. I didn't load my dead wife's feet. Yeah, like I'm the good guy, like.
But I didn't, because I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
What was your plan? What were you going to do? How was the separation going to work?
Once we got separated, I would get my own place, and then 50-50 split with the kids, that's what I was hoping.
Mhm. What about Nikki?
Take it slow and just see if, if anything develops, like,
Right. So that correlates with what NK said, that she was getting him an apartment for him. That they weren't going to run away together. They weren't moving in together. That apartment was for him. So those two stories correlate there. So they're most likely, that they would take it slow, see how it developed. And I think that was probably coming from NK. That was probably what she wanted.
at my own place.
Okay.
I just find it hard to hear you talk about just having this emotional, conversation with Shanann, and you're bawling and crying together, and you have not shed one tear in 2 days that you've been here.
No,
Not
Yes, you have not shed one tear in 2 days that you have been here. And there's been crying noises, there's been distressed noises from him, just like, I don't know where they are. But there's been not one tear. That's because he doesn't really care that much. He's just busy thinking about his own self-preservation. Yeah, Alvaro, I wish we'd be able to been able to see his face. I really do wish we'd been able to see his face. No, he doesn't cry. It's not a tear. But because Tammy's mentioned this, sure enough, as if on cue, there is a couple of fake sniffles coming up. Brace yourself, because if Chris Watts hadn't won an Oscar, well, let's just face it, he's still not going to after this.
one. And help me understand that, because I don't get it. These are your baby girls, and you have not shed one tear over them not being around. Chris, I lose my 4-year-old in the store for 10 seconds, and I start to go panic. I have not seen any of that from you at all. Help me understand that.
I love those girls. I would never do anything just because I haven't shed a tear.
Yeah, no, that's weird. Is that weird?
Don't.
That's weird. Yeah. Isn't that weird? Yes, Tammy. It's fucking weird. Yes, it is.
Don't look into that like I don't love my kids.
Tell me,
explain
to me. You're crying with your wife that you're leaving her.
Yeah.
But you don't.
It's because he hadn't cried during that conversation either, if it even happened.
Cry that your 2 little baby girls.
I'm hoping they're still around somewhere. I'm hoping they're still somewhere.
Yeah, but you don't have them right now. You're not reading stories to them at night.
I know.
You're not giving them midnight snacks. You're not giving them their medicine. You're not waking up with them in the morning.
I know this.
So that should cause you pain.
It does cause me pain.
But
Instantaneous sniffles, absolutely, because he's been reminded that wasn't in his performance, and Tammy thinks that's weird. The sniffling starts.
I don't see that. I don't see that. I want to see the Chris that cares. I want to see the Chris that, feels bad about what he did and wants to, get this off his chest and be done with this. And let us find your little girls so that they're not out there in the middle of a field or whatever somewhere. Don't do that.
I love those girls to death.
Then show us that. Show us that. Show us this Chris, not this Chris.
I'm not showing you that Chris. I'm showing you the Chris that cares about his girls and his wife. Just because I haven't shed a tear shouldn't make you feel like I haven't.
Listen to the tone here. Just because I haven't shed a tear, the voice quiver. Always with the voice quiver, fake cries. He's fake crying to express concern, because Tammy's pointed out that he doesn't really seem concerned. So he's like, shit, better turn this fakery or fuckery up to level 7.5, because I'm just not convincing these people that I'm this sympathetic, nice person. So I'm going to have to fake cry.
That the love isn't there for them.
It's weird. It doesn't make sense.
I understand that.
You have to.
I totally see where you're coming from. Trust me, there's nothing.
Trust me, that's rich coming from you, Mr. Watts.
Just because
Chris, people can be pushed to the point where they do something that they regret. It happens every single day.
I know.
But part of what makes you a man is the guy that goes, really fucked up, but this is what I did, and I'm gonna pay for what I did, and I'm gonna tell you what I did, and I'm gonna be honest about it.
Chris, we can keep talking to you once we find these girls, okay? And once we find these girls and your wife, right? No matter how we find them, no matter what condition they're in, we can keep talking to you. You can tell us, guys, it's not as bad as it
Hey,
was.
is it?
And you can say, let me tell you what happened. I was never comfortable with you, Graham, or with you, Tam. I wasn't comfortable yet, but now that everything's known, now that the girls are found and Shanahan's found, however they're found, it's okay. We can keep talking to you.
Thank you, Ali.
Chris, did Shanann do something to them?
No, I don't know.
Right. So thank you, Ali. This is where the tactics change, where they decide they're going to, did Shanann do something to the girls? Is that what happened? And the first response that he comes up with is, no.
I'm serious.
I have no clue.
No, you would have known, 'cause
I have no clue. Never a truer word was spoken by a twat in the history of existence.
they didn't leave the house.
Like,
Did Shanann do something to them, and then did you feel like you had to do something to Shanann?
They were at the house when I left. They were there.
They weren't there. They didn't leave. They vanished.
They were
The
there.
only way they could have left is in your truck.
There's no way, because, like, I didn't just throw them in my truck.
Oh, that's interesting. Now, I still don't believe his fairy stories, and I still don't believe about the kids being alive. I don't think we can believe anything he actually confessed to. All I know is that his wife and kids are dead, and he was the only one there at the time, and he's still alive, and he covered it up. So that to me goes, whoop, whoop, murderer, murderer. However, the fact that he's now like sort of saying about that he would never hurt them, I wouldn't do that. And,
You know your truck is GPS,
Yes.
right?
I would just throw them in the truck. It's not like I just threw them in the truck. When somebody says something like that seems like a weird thing to say. Like, it's not like I just threw them in the truck, would suggest that he already has in his mind the idea of throwing them into the truck, which would suggest that's actually exactly what he did. He threw somebody into the truck, whether it was the children or Shanann, and obviously that's what he's seeing in his head when he says that.
Yes.
Because you told your boss, like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm going to celebration, I'm going to be staying
Yeah.
at a friend's house, whatever. You know that thing pings every 10 seconds?
Yep.
So we will know
We can't turn it off.
I don't.
where you went.
And your company's giving that to us.
I don't.
Are we not asking the right questions, Chris?
Hey, Mystery Baker, long time no see. Goodness me, hello. I'm glad you're here. Thank you.
You're asking all the questions.
What are we not asking you right? What are we doing wrong?
You're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, Helen, he really did, didn't he?
Did Shanann do something?
Again, did Shanann do something? They're trying to get him to say that so that he can put the blame on her to at least get where the children are.
You should do anything to these kids. We both love them with all our hearts. There's no way.
It could have been an accident. Something happened in the house that you know about. You failed the polygraph test, Chris. This is not about, did you leave and your wife vanished and you didn't know anything about it. That was not what you were asked, okay?
Okay.
We know that something happened to all three of them. But I want to know, did something happen to these baby girls first that you had to take into your own hands and deal with?
You had to clean it up for Shanann.
Chris, you gotta tell us. There's something that happened to these baby girls.
Oh, thank you, Mystery Baker. That's so sweet. Thank you.
Look at them.
I know. Before you came in, I was watching videos.
We have no doubt you love these girls with all of your heart.
Yeah, it's nice of you to say, but again, what they're doing is they're playing into this good daddy thing that he's got going on. They just want him to tell him where the hell they are because they don't know for sure that they're dead yet. They know that they probably are, but they don't know for sure. Yes, Mr. Baker, thank you very much, and much love to you too, sweetheart. It's nice to see you. It's been a long time.
I have no doubt. But we make mistakes.
That's okay.
I agree, Liz. I think Tommy and Coda were excellent with him. Yeah, it gets frustrating. These are two very patient people.
It's what we do with those mistakes that make us who we are.
Chris, it seems like you're thinking about it right now. What are you thinking about?
She couldn't have.
I feel like you cleaned up for her. I feel like that's the type of guy that you are.
Right. Again, we're pushing this advantage. I feel like you cleaned up for her. I feel like you're that's the kind of guy you are. So I feel like people are building him up, making him look good, making him feel good. So he will blame Shanann. This is why he blamed Shanann, because they wanted him to, because they wanted him as part of that confession to tell them where the hell those girls were.
Which one of these has the breathing thing?
Well, they both have inhalers, but Cece has the EOE. And syphilis on the beds.
Does she have problems breathing?
Hi, Robin Swan. Sorry I missed you, sweetheart.
Like, with her allergies and whatnot, like if she had anything next, but she's one with the endoscopies and everything, the surgeries I told you about.
Do you think she had trouble breathing that night?
Exactly, Leaping Lizard, and we'll take a moment to address that. She absolutely, this woman knows that this man has done these terrible things. They know Shanann's gone, they want to know where the children are. It's all, she knows what he's done. And she has spoken out publicly as well, probably when she shouldn't have done, and she got herself into a bit of strife about what Chris had done and how she felt about it. So there was no mistaking that she knew. So when she's sitting talking to him, trying to defer the blame on to Shanann, she is evoking a confession from him, nothing more. This is the way that she does it. So it's interesting to watch. And also possibly, a good way to get your husband to confess to something. That last cupcake in the fridge, was it the children who ate it? And you go, yes, it was the children. Yes, it was the children. But could you have possibly eaten a cupcake too? Was it the children's fault that happened?
And Shanann freaked out and didn't want to live without her baby girl.
So,
Did you hear about the homicide that happened in Aurora? The guy beat that family to death with a ball-peen hammer.
Mhm.
The only person that survived was a 3-year-old sibling. And that sibling grew up to be a total mess. No family, no mom and dad, no brother, sister, just her by herself. She says, I wish I would have died with them. And there are times that people freak out. I've seen it.
Yeah, it could be that there's some mimicry going on there if they spend a lot of time together or they grow up together, that they'll use the same sort of phrases. We've all had times where we've had really close friends that we're spending a lot of time with, where you kind of say the same thing at the same time or think the same way at the same time. And I think it's likely that he did that. But no inclination is a really strange way to phrase something. I know what it means. But I've never really heard it used the way he used it until he did. And then I'm thinking, this dude's a liar. Of course, we don't know he's a liar, but your instinct, everything inside you is going, he's killed his wife.
I mean, I've been in law enforcement for almost 20 years. I've seen it. Parents freak out and they're like, oh my God, like, I can't have my baby girls live without each other. They're best friends. They're like twins. They're You know, they wake each other up in the morning. And I understand that.
Excuse me, Evie Scorpio. Slander. Yeah, that's fair dues. That's probably true.
We had a mom in Castle Rock that suffocated both the baby girls. She's like, my husband was going to take them. And she's like, I just couldn't handle. I thought I was doing right by them.
So what Tammy's doing now is she's recalling a story of another family annihilation by a woman, or almost complete family annihilation by a woman, where she didn't want the husband to take them. So she put that idea into his head to get the information about where the girls are. So let's see how he responds to this.
I thought I was saving them pain. And I get it.
Why? Why she saving the pain?
She didn't want them to have to live without their mom.
Chris, this is a weight that's going to be on you for the rest of your life.
I'm saying absolutely nothing about this comment.
Until we resolve it tonight. Unless we can talk about this more tonight, it's going to follow you forever. I promise you, when you start talking to us, you will feel better. I know you already felt better about getting Nikki off your chest.
Please don't like involve her in this or anything like that.
White Tiger can confirm. Strange how he asked why. Yes, that's.
Can't do it. You gotta help me.
So now you gotta help me. You know that we're breaking him down a little. There's something. He's drumming up some sort of story in his prickly little head.
Chris, we're giving you a lifeline right now. You need to take it. You need to reach out and take it.
Hi, Mrs. Roger Rabbit.
Did they look like this tonight? The last night you were with them?
Aye, bitches, bros. You've missed about halfway, but we're going to pick it up again next week, I think.
She had that dress on, like, on the 8th or 9th. It wasn't in this, but she had that dress on. I remember I had the 2 buttons on the back. I take them off so I get her done on that night.
Did you guys make sure that they were warm when you left the house?
Make sure they were warm. They're always warm. They always have when they're in the bed.
They're always warm. They're not warm right now, are they, dickhead?
They're always warm.
Were you guys taking care of them at the very end?
They're always taken care of. They never miss a meal.
Yes, Melinda, he absolutely did.
Chris, you took them out of the house with their blankets and their animals. That's because you cared. That's what a caring dad does.
I mean, I'm always caring for these kids. There's nothing in this for my life.
I believe that. And I believe someone made a mistake, whether it was you or Shanann. And you either cleaned up after Shanann or you made the mistake. And I mean, I want to believe that.
Right, so now what she's doing is going, so it was you or her? Which one of you was it?
If Shanann did it and you felt compelled to fix this so Shanann didn't look bad. That's what I want to believe. But I don't know, you're not telling me that, so it makes me think the worst. Like, did you
I did not do anything.
all three of them?
I
Like,
did not do anything to these kids. Not anything.
what did Shanann do to them?
So there you go. So, you know, it's either you or her. So they're kind of funneling down into this position. It's either you or her. Which one of you was it? knowing that he's most likely going to say it was her, but the aim of it is to find the little ones.
Tell us, Chris. Chicks are crazy.
Can I talk to my dad or something?
Absolutely.
Can I speak to my daddy? Can I talk to my daddy about this? I need to speak to my daddy. Yeah.
Do you want to bring him in here?
No, I just need to talk to my dad.
I don't want to bring him into the interrogation room, not with you guys here. You might think I'm naughty.
I flew across the country.
Hey, Chris,
How about this?
if we brought your dad in here, would you
Do you know who else flew across the country? Your wife, a couple of nights ago. Dipshit.
please tell him what happened?
Hey, Baxter.
I'm not been in here for like 5 or 6 hours, and I'm like,
Absolutely. Chris, look at me, man. It's not going to feel any better. He deserves an answer.
It's your best friend.
There's only one person you wanted here most, and it's your dad.
Chris,
What would you tell him?
I love him, and I just want him to be by my side.
Okay.
This is a very strange behaviour for somebody who hasn't done anything wrong, isn't it? I need my daddy. I want him to be here. I'm scared.
He knows more than we do that you're a good man. And he knows as much as you want to protect your wife, Shana. I think he would tell you to do the right thing. Before we get him,
Can I go out there and talk to him?
well, I don't know that you want to do
Can I go out there and talk to him? I really want to get out of this room. My voice has gone all high pitched because I'm really excited at the prospect of leaving this room without looking like I'm guilty.
it out there because there's a lot of people who go through the halls. Should we bring him in here?
We'll step out. Okay.
Can you do minutes with him? Okay. Can we just ask a couple more questions? It seems like you're about to.
You would think so, wouldn't you, Melinda, the way he's going on? Yeah, he didn't steal a pencil. Yeah, it's not quite the same.
Get it off your chest. Is there any way that you can help us understand more about Shanann and why maybe something happened? So that we don't get a bad picture about her. What I mean is, what happened that night with her?
A lot of people forget that Izette's got some great pointers on this case. She knows the timeline really well. So do watch out for her popping up with comments because she's spot on.
Shortly after I talked to her.
With the girls?
Yeah, we will cover this probably next Sunday now. But I do want to look at the Ronnie's behaviour. But, the behaviour to me wasn't proportionate to the news he was getting when he was told. So I feel he knew, but obviously that's theory.
Like when we were having that conversation in bed there,
Mm-hmm.
when I talked to her about the separation and the house, and she asked me about the affair, and
Hi, Gino Giannetti.
that's how that conversation went. And she was distraught. She had like mascara on down her face, all that, and it was emotional.
Well, how about this? If we bring in your dad, will you promise me that you'll talk to him?
I'll talk to her.
Will you promise me that you'll tell him everything? Would it be easier if you told him and he told us? I don't know. Okay. I don't know if that's going to be easier or not. I tend to think it's not. I think you're the type of guy that needs to take responsibility because you always have taken responsibility. You've always made the right choice. So,
You've always taken responsibility. You've always made the right choice. Here he's just bolstering him up with the confidence to confess to his father.
I guess I'm just worried that if we bring your dad in here, that could distract you
prevent me from, like, talking to you.
Yeah,
I just need to talk to him.
okay. All right. I know you'll do the right thing. I do. I don't know how long it's gonna take.
Right, Cora, that didn't age well, sweetheart. You said you knew you'd do the right thing. It depends what you mean by the right thing. I don't know how long it'll take. Still to this day, this man, well, I say use the term man loosely, has still not told the full truth about what actually happened.
I think that you need to think a little bit more about that. Okay.
And you need to realize that your dad is not going to stop loving you no matter what you tell him. You are his child, and he will not stop loving you.
Never.
Ever.
And this is not the last chapter in anyone's story at all. Okay. He's been here the whole time. He didn't want to leave you. Have you ever seen sometimes when
He's been here the whole time because he didn't want to leave you. Again, that support that he knew. Why would he be worried if his innocent son has a missing wife? Obviously, he might want to help with the search if the kids and the wife were missing. But again, why is he scared to leave him? Is it because he's told him that he might confess?
an animal's owner dies, they stick around forever? I mean, that's your dad. Poor guy didn't want to leave today, okay? So keep that in mind. He wants to hear it all. All right.
Yeah, there was plenty of opportunities to speak about things. NK spoke to Ronnie, and Chris did speak to him in the car. He picked him up from the airport. They had plenty of time to talk. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick timestamp. That's 37:25. I'm going to make a note of it somewhere when I find my pen. Right, hang on, can you hear that? That's me rummaging for a pen that's actually already on the desk, I think. So, when you want a pen, you can never find one. There we go, got it. Right, let me just take that timestamp down again. Right, 37:20, we'll call it 37:20. And this is just shortly before Ronnie comes into the room. I will make notes of timestamps so that we can skip the little while the wait, because I'm not just going to sit and watch them in silence. Have to run, people are hungry. All right, San, you take care, sweetheart. We'll see you again soon. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Mwah, thank you very much, darling. That was very kind of you. It will go towards me StreamYard and me things and bits and pieces, so it does go towards the channel. So thank you very, very much. CW told his dad they know about her. Yeah. Me too, Mary. Can't wrap my mind around the senselessness of it all. I think, yes, this is a fascinating case, and for me, who was really into it at the time and kind of stepped away, it's good to come back to it now with fresh eyes when we know just how horrible Chris is, because he persists in, from a distance, torturing the family. It tells us a lot more about how cruel he actually is. I don't think he has any remorse. He doesn't want to tell the truth. So in his eyes look worse than he does. Yeah, it's about how he looks, isn't it? That's what the absolute, end be all and end all is for him. Hey, Mandy Hall, thank you very much, sweetheart. Oh, you're an absolute legend. Thank you. Thank you very much. Miss Happy Mandy going, you get drink with that. I think what I'll do is I'll save that for when we get together next. I will save that for when we get together next, Mandy. Would you would chat? We haven't had one since Christmas-ish, so I think we should get together. Right, okay, absolutely no remorse. Thank you, Ali. It's just a Snapchat filter, but of course the face, unfortunately, is still the one I've got. Thank you, Mandy, darling. Right, and Annie writes, thank you on behalf of me and the channel. Absolutely. Okay, drink, yeah, that's exactly right, Mandy. All right, Sakura girl. Hey, everybody, I'm listening. Just had to get brunch to the babies, but now I need to get dressed. But I'll listen till the end. Great program. Thank you very much, Sakura girl. We're going to be going in just a moment. But now that I've obviously started with this, what I can do is we'll finish this one next Sunday. And if you want me to continue with the series, I will analyse the rest of the content just this way, because I didn't actually go through them like this the first time that I looked at the case. So if you want me to do that, leave a like on the video, leave a comment. I will absolutely pick that up. And thank you very much for keeping me company. You guys have been wonderful. I have the best mods. Mwah! Love you lots. Do check out all the channels that have been shared in the description. Join the Discord and stay awesome. I will catch you guys on the flip side. And thank you very much to everybody for joining us. Much love. Bye-bye.